So that the products actually work on your energetic field, which we'll get into in a minute. And Einstein actually was the first to really start talking about it, that everything that's happening to you happens in the field. And it happens in the field first. It's your awareness of it is happening in your body, and you're saying, okay, well, I broke my wrist a year ago. I can feel that this isn't right. But it's actually evident in my field, which we'll get into in a minute. If you look at the history of wellness, we've all grown up, everyone in this room has grown up with what we call allopathic medicine. You get sick, you go to the doctor, he gives you a drug, and then you later feel better. Am I right? We've all experienced, like my family has experienced 2 or 3 people who we think have died of chemotherapy. And we're done with all of that. My mom went to Mexico and had her lung cancer cured. And that's the next step, which is holistic. So the goal of wellness is to bring you into homeostasis, which is a fancy word for complete balance. But if your body is in complete balance from head to toe, your entire field is in complete energetic balance, you can't be sick. A body in balance can't be sick. And so if you are moving toward energetic balance, you're moving toward complete wellness. All that something like a degenerative illness like cancer or diabetes is the momentum of that has gone the wrong direction. It's moving in the wrong direction for you to be well. And you have to do something to get the momentum back in the other direction and be moving toward homeostasis. But I look at allopathic medicine as, let's say we wanted to turn it, we've got a light on, it's just a bare light bulb. We want the light off, so we throw a towel over it. Is the light off? It's dark in the room, so we got the symptom gone. But that light's going to burn through there, it's still on, it's just being masked by the towel. Are you with me? And so, the goal of allopathic medicine is truly to push your body toward that baseline of health in an artificial way, using synthetic drugs. Holistic medicine made a comeback in the 60s. It was very popular before the turn of the century. And as a matter of fact, the instance of cancer in 1900 was a fraction of what it is now. The instance of adult onset diabetes was a fraction of what it is now. The instance of obesity was a fraction. As a matter of fact, in the 1950s, you can find people writing that obesity is a disease because there were so few people that suffered from it. And so we've all kind of got this feeling like something's not working. Are you with me? Are you guys tracking with me? This means yes. Okay. And so we turn back to this more natural and holistic approach, which is to observe the body, which is important to the next definition, but to observe the body and nurture it back to a baseline of health using natural methods. That's holistic medicine. But there's this new thing out there, isn't there always? Somebody's always going to break the world record. And the next thing right now is what we call energetic wellness, which is to observe the field. Notice the difference. Observe the body and observe the field. They're actually observing the field around your body and energetically nurturing it back toward a baseline of health. Don't run away yet. Because if you're like me, I thought, you're crazy, the field. But the science is there, which I'll share with you. But we can actually explain it by first looking at the Earth and the magnetic field around the Earth. So, the Earth has a magnetic field around it. Am I right? Do you agree? And that field protects us from the solar radiation from the sun. The radiation from the sun is literally glancing off of that magnetic field. Otherwise, it would fry the crust of the planet, and no life could exist here. Am I right? Okay. In the 1990s, quantum physicists finally admitted that there was an energetic field, or is an energetic field around our body. This only happened in the 90s. Isn't that crazy? Remember the curling photography that you saw at all the events over the last 25 years, but they still wouldn't believe that anything was there. The same company actually invented the gas discharge visualization camera, which I'll go into in a minute, that can actually quantify this field that's happening around your body, which is also protecting us from harmful energy. And if that field is disrupted, where it goes is fatigue, poor flexibility, lack of endurance, lack of stamina, just overall you don't have energy, right? And if left unchecked, it then leads to degenerative illness. And when our field was invented, however that happened, none of this stuff existed. So I just jumped online here. I got on the wireless internet here at the hotel. Anybody see like a wireless node? So it's not in this room. It's in another room, and it's going through brick and mortar, plaster, wallpaper, and glass, whatever. And it's coming in, and my receiver here is picking it up. Do you think it's doing anything with your field? It's interacting with your field. Fluorescent lights, pesticides, processed foods, radio waves. The big ones are cell phones and high-tension wires. Anybody ever heard of Johnny Cochran? That's the guy, one of the guys that defended O.J., right? He passed away 2 years ago, and about 4 or 5 months ago, I saw this on CNN. I couldn't believe that I was seeing it. They had a picture of the tumor that he died from. It was a brain tumor, and it actually looked like the Bluetooth that he wore on his head, and they were talking about the fact that it did look like that. And this is a guy that wore that Bluetooth everywhere he went. Okay, even the judges had to say, "Take your Bluetooth off." Okay, so this radiation was affecting him. And high-tension wires are another big, huge culprit. These things are disrupting. Every radio station, if you put an AM radio in here and listen to it, all those signals that are being received by that are in this room right now. We're just not receivers for them, but they are disrupting our field and leading us down that path of degenerative illness at the end of the day. So how does it affect us on an overall, our entire environment? Everything. The air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat is all affected by toxins that are affecting our field. Smells, emotions, the water and everything in it. But this is the crazy one. The National Council on Radiation Protection declared that 2 milligauss is the maximum amount of electromagnetic radiation that the human body can handle at any one exposure. 2 milligauss. So let's look at that. How many here have a computer? Everyone almost? 5 milligauss. Already more than double the amount you're supposed to be exposed to. So, just right there, how many of you use hair dryers? 25 milligauss. Airplanes that I just rode here in, 50 milligauss the entire time you're on the flight. Appliances like your microwave, your convection oven, your TV, all that stuff, up to 100 milligauss. And that fancy Vitamix 2 horsepower high-speed blender that you made that healthy shake with was jamming 220 milligauss of radiation into your food before you drank it and getting it all over you. And do you think that microwave ovens are truly shielded and they don't emit microwaves into your kitchen and on you and affecting you? Do you really think so? You can get a meter to measure that. And if you're like a lot of people probably in this room, I'm probably preaching to the choir, you've thrown your microwave oven away. I know Rick Bergen, our CEO, he told his family we're not using that thing anymore, and his daughters kept using it. And the way he knew is because the zeros would be blinking. They had plugged it in, so he cut the cord on it. So that stuff's out there, and it's affecting us. And let's go back to the business opportunity of this. Anytime there's a challenge or a problem, and we have a solution at our fingertips, what does that create? Opportunity. And that's kind of where we're headed. Would you agree that stress and emotions also disorganize your field? We can do the muscle test like Brenda did before I got here with somebody and say, just think of something that was horrible in your life. Not that you want to do that often, but if you do that, you'll go weak. It's affecting your field immediately. So when it's all said and done, you look like me. That's not me, but it's an accurate representation of me. At the end of the day, when I'm not using these types of products, you've lost your moxie. Your mojo is not there, you know what I'm saying? Why does that happen? It's because when your energetic field looks like that person would actually be dead. But it's a representation. But when your energetic field looks something like that, you are unconsciously, subconsciously having to compensate for it on a regular, constant, every second basis. It's like stay in balance, stay in balance, stay in balance, stay in balance, going on all the time, which is dragging you down. So what can we do to protect ourselves? It's our products. ZeroPoint products, ZeroPoint Global, and you've seen a demo of some of them just now. There's a thread of continuity around all of these, or through all these products, and that is they're all energized. So whether it's a water bottle, discs, or pendants, or lasers, or the serious intention of the oils, the earth hearts, every single product we have, but what makes us ZeroPoint is that they're energized with an energy that has a wellness factor. That's a really important statement. Every one of our products is energized with a wellness, with an energy that has a wellness factor. The wellness factor is affecting you when you wear the products. Is there anyone here that's been affected by our products? Just raise your hand so I can see. So pretty much everyone that's not a guest has been affected by our products. Brings your energetic field into greater coherence. And there's 3 different ways that it does this. I don't want to spend too much time on this, given that we're probably late, but it infuses the energy into them. I'll explain how in a second. And so they're emitting an energy that has an effect on your field. There's some that clear, like this intention disc, is a clearing energy. So how many drink filtered or bottled water? Okay, almost everyone. So if that's had 99-point-something% of the chlorine removed, if you could remove all the chlorine out of the water, which you can't, a scientist could look at that and say, yes, there was chlorine in this water. How? He's seeing that the energetic signature of the chlorine is still there. And that is also affecting you. So we have some energies that clear that stuff. And then transmuting, that's a misprint. And blame Calvin. It's not transmutating, but it's transmuting. But that is, for example, if we wanted to make a cell phone not hurt you, we couldn't just block the signal, or then what would happen? We couldn't even use it, right? So we've got to do something to transform the energy into something beneficial. So those are the 3 types of energies that we have.